Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to make pierogi casserole. This is a recipe. It's going to sound a little bit different, but really simple. All you need, pierogies, some sausage, bacon, onion, cheese, of course. And I'm going to actually add some mushrooms to this because you're going to use mushroom soup, which I haven't brought out here yet. But these are mainly the ingredients that you're going to use. You're basically going to put a mushroom soup sauce over top of the pierogies. Like I said, I'm going to add bacon and sausage to it. And you're going to use frozen pierogies, which is even better. So this is one of those dinners that you forgot to throw something in the oven or in the slow cooker. You're coming back from work and you want to make something quick and satisfying. This is the recipe. So let's get into it. First thing you're going to want to do is dice up your bacon into small cubes. Everything is going to kind of revolve into the same pan, which makes this kind of a one-pan meal, except for the oven. I mean, I use the bacon grease now for absolutely everything, because you're also going to fry your mushrooms, your onions, and your sausage in this bacon grease. I didn't say this was a healthy dish. I said it was going to be a tasty dish. Now that you got your bacon all cut up and frying in the pan behind me, you're going to want to go ahead and cut up your sausage. Now, whatever kind of sausage you want to use, I'm using a farmer sausage. You can use kubasau, you can use Italian sausage, you can use deer sausage, bear sausage, kind of whatever you have on hand. This is just the one that I really enjoy to use. So go ahead and cut these into little medallions. If you want to make them even smaller, you can cut down the length of them and cut them into medallions that way. But do whatever you want on that aspect. You're also going to have to take a full red onion, take off the skin, go ahead and give her a rough cut. I don't really feel like crying all night, so I'm going to use this little chopper thing. Got this thing off Amazon, and it is awesome. But you do got to kind of cut it up into smaller chunks, or it will jam your blades. But still, way better than cutting a full onion and then crying the entire night. So there you go, nicely chopped up. Take the lid, secure it on there, and just give her a couple of pulls. Shake her down. There you go. You got yourself chopped diced onions without the tears. The next thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and chop down mushrooms. Make sure you go ahead and rinse your mushrooms. Mushrooms are, well, they're grown in the dirt, so they're not the cleanest. So I go ahead, throw them in a colander, rinse them, and you're just going to give these a rough cut into slices, however you want. If you want to cube them. I've heard some people peel their mushrooms, which sounds really weird to me. I don't. And we're going to go ahead and, once the bacon behind me, that is cooking down. Once the bacon has cooked down, we're going to go ahead and take the bacon out of the pan. Then we're going to add the onions, these mushrooms, and a little bit of garlic or jarlic. And we're going to go ahead and cook all that down. And then we're going to add the sausage to it. Now, the sausage, you can cook it if you want to pre-cook it. I suggest you do. It gives a better flavor. But you are going to put this whole casserole is going to go into the oven for like 45 minutes. So that sausage should cook down, but I am going to go ahead and pre-cook it just because I like pre-cooked sausage. I like it. It gives it a better flavor in my opinion. Now that your bacon is partially cooked, I'd say it's about halfway, we're going to go ahead and add our onions and our mushrooms to it. I've taken out some of the grease and saved it aside because you never know if you're going to need a little bit more grease. So go ahead and now add the onions and the mushrooms to the bacon, and we're going to sweat the mushrooms and everything down, get the onions all flavored in, and then we're going to go ahead and add 2 cans of mushroom soup to the onions, bacon, mushrooms, everything. And then once the sausage is cooked, it's also going to go into there, and everything gets all put together in one big casserole. Now that you have your mushrooms, onions, and bacon and everything all together, right now is the time that I would add some seasonings. So I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, a little bit of garlic plus salt and pepper, but season to taste, however you want to. Because don't forget, we are going to be adding the mushroom soup now into this once the bacon and everything's all crispened up. We are going to be adding mushroom soup, so you are going to want some more flavors there. So go ahead and spice now, or when you add the mushroom soup, it's completely up to you. So now that your onions, mushroom, and bacon and everything has been sweated down and cooked, everything's good, we're going to go ahead and add the 2 cans of mushroom soup along with 1 can of beef, chicken, or vegetable stock, or just plain old water, whatever you want. But I find the stock adds way better flavor. If it looks too thick once you've added the 2 cans of soup and the 1 can of broth, go ahead and add more if it looks too thick. This does look too thick, so now I'm going to say probably about 1.5 cans of broth, because you want quite a bit of liquid. Keep in mind, the pierogies are frozen and they need something to boil in when this casserole goes into the oven. All right, guys, it's been 45 minutes and the casserole is done. So let's grab it and see how it turned out. Oh, wow. Boy, does that ever look good. So there you go. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is definitely done. The cheese is nicely melted. Let's take a spoonful here and see how this turned out. And take a nice big scoop right down there. Oh, yeah. Look at that cheese pull. The outside ones are a little bit crispier, but that's okay. I want some of that sausage. And there we go. And there we go. But the real question is, how does this taste? So let's give it a try. First, the sausage. That's a really good sausage. It's just farmer sausage, which I like that stuff. Definitely use that again. Let's see how these pierogies taste. Definitely cooked. A little bit of that cheese and some sauce. Ooh, that's hot. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so good. This has got to be one of my new favorite pierogi recipes. Normally I do it the old school way. Boil your pierogies, bacon, onions, fry them, a little bit of sour cream. But this is a really, really good alternative. Like I said, you can see there's a lot here for the next couple of days. I'm going to freeze it, make some freezer meals. All in all, this turned out to be a really, really, really good recipe. So if any, thanks for tuning in, guys. And if anybody has any comments, questions, let me know, in the comments below. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if anybody has any suggestions on other recipes that they'd like to see me make, drop me a line. I'd love to see what people out there want to see me cook. And I love to try new recipes. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever tried this recipe, and I love it. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you next time.